5:15 on June 4th, 2024. I will go ahead and call the meeting to order. Ashley, will you go ahead and do roll call, please?
Lindbergh.
Here.
Nippert.
Here.
Shaven.
Here.
Kroger. Here. Kelly. Here. Peterson.
Here.
And at this time, we will have our newest member sworn in by Ashley. You want to do it out front?
Sure. Can you raise your right hand? I, Aaron Nippert,
I, Aaron Nippert,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Iowa,
of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully,
and impartially,
impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge
discharge
any all of the duties
all of the duties
of the office
of the office
of Council Ward 3
of Council Ward 3
in the city of Harlan, Iowa,
in the city of Harlan, Iowa,
as now or hereafter
as now or hereinafter
required by law.
required by law.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have you sign this?
It's official. It's like a little
You can go.
confetti gun and turns
Yeah,
out.
keep stuff like that.
Can you be in charge of the entertainment committee?
I can, now we can get something going.
He's not even sure if he's here or not.
2 hours of sleep. I still got to drive to Kansas City.
Tonight?
After election pickup. Train, wait for it, come back and work overnight.
All right, well, welcome, Aaron.
Welcome.
Thanks for stepping up for us.
Thank you, guys.
Then I think we've all been given the agenda. I don't think there were any additions, subtractions, changes. Any conflicts, state them now or along the way.
I'll motion to approve the agenda.
Okay? Yeah, that's probably a good idea too.
Yeah.
Motion by Kroger, second by Lindbergh.
Roll call. Lindbergh.
Aye.
Nippert.
Aye.
Shaven.
Aye.
Kroger. Aye. Kelly.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Now you can state all your conflicts if you have them or along the way. Thanks, Sharon.
Glad to see you here, Mr. Mayor.
It's okay.
Next up under the consent agenda, this is all under one motion, one roll call. We have the minutes of the May 21st special work session and the May 21st regular council meeting. We have the claims list 1315 in the amount of $1,183,499.74. Everybody have a chance to kind of get a look at those, some of the larger items on there?
Interest on,
Yeah.
Some bonds maturing, and then the interest payments was the largest majority of those, and if you may recall from budgeting time, those were anticipated and budgeted with payments this year, so it synced up almost to the penny, I guess, of those interest
Yeah.
maturities.
Okay. Also, the HMU sewer and landfill reconciliation report for April of 2024. And some happy news where we have 2 new fire department members, Jack Goebbels and Ethan Lytle. That's always good to see additions.
Maybe one more next month, too.
One more next month.
Nice.
Great. You in charge of recruitment, Richard?
That's why they're there. No.
I know, it's a group effort.
Yes.
Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second?
Motion by Peterson, second by Kroger.
Roll call. Lindbergh.
Aye.
Nippert.
Aye.
Shaven.
Aye.
Kroger. Aye. Kelly. Aye. Peterson.
Under other business, we have ordinance 2024-2 is the second reading, amending chapter 6501 of the Code of Ordinances for the City of Harlan pertaining to stop signs. McKinley Avenue, vehicles traveling north on McKinley Avenue shall stop at Garfield Avenue. Franklin Avenue, vehicles traveling south on Franklin Avenue shall stop at Garfield Avenue. And Morris Avenue, vehicles traveling south on Morris shall stop at Garfield. Any comments or letters or anything to the office or from anyone in the public?
Nope.
Anybody heard anything?
Yeah, to my office on North City Hall, am I aware of any written or oral comments or questions? Pulled the map up once again that was reviewed by Streets and Alleys, showed this last at the first reading. Once again, it's public safety driven and just proximity to the hospital. It's the one recommendation that came forward, just to increase the safety there and signal those, although it's yield to right anyway, but additional signaling we felt would be appropriate.
And I guess hearing that we've not had any oral or written comments, there's an option too to make that motion.
Yeah, you could.
You could waive the third reading
You
and
could dispense
and
the
go
third
ahead.
reading, move to final adoption if you so chose tonight. Again, there's no time sensitivity, yet also not, this is more, I don't anticipate we'll have any other questions or comments, but that's truly at your discretion or pleasure.
So it's up to you guys, I guess, if you want to do it one more time the next time around or dispense it at this time. So,
I would make a motion to waive the final reading.
okay.
Second.
Move forward.
Motion by Lindberg, second by Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
And that motion again is to approve this reading, dispense a third, and move to final adoption.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry, just needed clarification.
Okay.
I wasn't sure exact wording on that, but I was,
Just for clarification.
thank you.
Roll call Lindberg,
Aye.
Nipper,
Aye.
Shaven,
Aye.
Kroger. Aye. Kelly.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
B would be Resolution 2569 regarding the rules of procedure for investment practices, investment policy for the city of Harlan. Is this,
This is currently in place, it's just in the current one they review it every 3 years,
okay,
so.
so we're just kind of reviewing it and updating it. Nothing's really changing though.
There were no
3
updates.
years ago. Okay.
Review.
It's good, excellent practice. Again, it was included in your packet. Looks like the first one was introduced in 2000, what did we look at that, Ashley? 1992, I apologize, whereas it was some amendments back in 2000. We know that for the past 6 years, we've been reviewing every 3 years. It's a good practice from an audit standpoint as well. Ashley reviewed it, I reviewed it as well. No changes are needed. So it's just a practice of putting in front of the governing board to make you aware and take action on it. But there are no amendments. I guess for the general public, what we would point to is Section 3, which should be pretty standard with any municipal organization, is that the objectives being, in this priority order, safety, liquidity, and then return. So traditionally, we've either been an interest-bearing checking or savings, and then we've invested some of our general fund balance in a CD, which are all appropriate tools and instruments to follow this investment policy.
Okay. Is there a
Is
motion?
it yearly, or is this every 3 years? You said?
Every 3 years.
Every 3 years we do this, okay. I'll make that motion.
Second?
Motion by Lindberg, second by Kroger.
Roll call Lindberg,
Aye.
Nipper,
Aye.
Shaven,
Aye.
Kroger. Aye. Kelly. Aye. Peterson.
Aye.
We're going to slow it down. Maybe we should have Councilmember Lindberg give us a report on something. Give the city administrator time to gather his thoughts before we get into the deep.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to city administrator's report, because I don't think Lindberg's got anything to give us.
Well, that's an excellent segue and transition, Mayor. I do have a slew of items. Shouldn't take all that long for those that need to get on their way this evening, but some updates for you as well as the community as a whole. Had announced it publicly that Glenn Carlson is our new wastewater superintendent at a wastewater plant. Glenn's been with us 6 years, 5 to 6 years. He's been our assistant out there for the last 4+ years. Very well qualified, and Glenn's anxious and excited to lead the team. And we have posted for our assistant wastewater superintendent. We have one individual internally who has those skills and credentials, and we're going through that process right now. So it creates a domino effect when those things take place. On the note of the wastewater facility, again, that's our sanitary sewer, and there's a report from the Iowa DNR, and I've shared this in writing with you, but also want to share it publicly, that with the significant May rainfalls, with what that creates in terms of flow and capacities at wastewater plants, there's usually what's called a lot of I&I, or inflow and infiltration into sanitary sewer lines. There were 131 other communities in Iowa that had requested the DNR to do a bypass, which is usually scrutinized, but due to high flows and other maybe storm situations, those things happen. Yet our plant, we had one day here recently where we had 2 million gallons flow to the plant. That was after the 5-inch rain. And due to planning from a few decades ago, where we've got our 2 million gallon detention pond with trained personnel to change the valves to get that diverted to the detention pond. So we diverted about 310,000 gallons just in that one event to the detention pond. But just kudos and hats off to, our personnel that operate the plant, and that we weren't one of those 131 other plants are requesting or needing to do a bypass to discharge directly. So just highlight that once again, and it's usually, again, one of those things out of sight, out of mind, yet I think it's worthy of recognition and creating awareness and education around it as well.
A lot of behind the scenes work.
Yes. Staying with the wastewater plant, as you all know and the public knows, we were awarded our CDBG $500,000 grant. So between that, our ARPA funding and our reserves, we're going to be doing about a $1.4 million sewer lining project. And just working over the past few days with our engineer, and we communicated with SWIPCO now, that formal process, so there'll be a lot of items on our, probably starting the July 2nd agenda over the next 3 agendas, with setting bid dates, approving plans and specs, publishing notice, receiving bids. So expect that happening in July and August with the wastewater project. The illustrious and infamous welcome signs. Once again, if you drive down south entering by Van Diest and behind the water tower at the high school, the footings are in, with the bases are in, as well as the framework, if you've seen that. And the signs are due to arrive in pieces this week for final construction. Fingers crossed that by the end of the week, we'll see some maybe actual sign construction. Should go pretty quick at that point. So, more to come on that. The pool's in full swing. I think I got healthy slew of lifeguards, and although some wet days, I think had to close 1 day with weather, maybe 2 days with weather. But the pool's going well. Library, again, just continue to have a rock star quality of life library. They had summer kickoff a week ago at North Park. Magician, picnic, and the library board and Library Association Foundation are entertaining a facade and exterior improvements. I've seen one initial rendering, and I think the library board and Sharon, the liaison with that group, that they're continuing to work with the Snyder architect and engineer for maybe some fine tuning to that. So stay tuned about likely an announcement with some exterior improvements at the library. So, anything you want to add to that, Sharon?
Nope, I'm good, thanks.
One of our street projects this year, again, we're not doing any mill and overlay due to our $1.3 million project last year, is we will be doing some slurry seal on, or joint leveling on some of the bumpier roads, Cyclone, Pine, portion of 12th. Looking at later this month is when that contractor, we're coordinating that with the county to minimize mobilization. The 4th and Main Bridge, we temporarily closed that back down because we have the contractor coming back. If you've been down through there, we had it open to traffic, but the north side, which is where it was pretty soft yet. Not the bridge itself, the piers and everything, the pilings are fine. But just due to that backfill, we're going to excavate and put in some better fill and then some geogrid, and then bring that back up with millings. So if you've been down there, it's pretty soft on the north side, which so temporarily closed, but we'll have it back open hopefully next week. We continue to work on, we have one light at the ball field, so in support with HMU in their electric department, we have them going up on a lift again tomorrow to do some final fixes to this one light that previously had some hanging components that were secured, but now we need to do some final fixes and adjustments. That will be tomorrow. And the last two items I have are with the recent adoption with the policy change at HMU. I know Ashley and team will begin working on it for our sewer and landfill. So once those are turned back over to the city for collections, we'll get a collection policy and procedure in place when some of those accounts start being turned back over from HMU. So we can anticipate that likely in July for receiving that. And as I mentioned July, that's a great segue into my last comment, that before we know it, there'll be fireworks going off. And as elected officials, I know we've, since this is legalized in the state a few years back, fireworks sales can begin now for any sales. Our policy that has been in front of council and was amended after the first year was that discharge is from noon until 11 p.m. on July 4th. And would just ask for being mindful of that ordinance, be considerate of the neighbors and neighborhoods. Seems as though last year they seemed to go on
Well past.
and every community, I can assure you, and just maybe as you talk with other elected officials in other communities, but certainly other communities experience the same thing. And for the individuals that are very frustrated by it, it seems like a simple solution such as, well, just ticket everybody or just outlaw them. Well, with that, you still have the same issues, and the due diligence and proof with even citing. So just ask for consideration. By the time this airs, it will be likely getting closer to July 4th. And use elected officials, I guess I would ask you to help support that. But it becomes a challenging time of year. Certainly want to support those enthusiasts who enjoy discharging fireworks and displays, and well, they certainly are pretty. I enjoy watching them. I'm sure many others do. Yet the extensive time frame, just being sure that that is being adhered to on the 4th. The 4th this year is on Thursday. It's close to a weekend, so maybe that can all be taken care of within 12 hours and be done with that. So that's my final comment and update, Mayor, unless you have any comments or questions for me or any silver wonderful ideas on managing fireworks.
No. We all know it's
Again, that is the
lots of boomers.
guideline and ordinance is noon until 11 p.m. on the 4th.
Okay, anything else? Gene, questions, comments? Okay, thanks,
Welcome
Gene.
once again to Aaron. So.
Under my report, I've got a couple things. First would be to reappoint Todd Barrett to the Park and Rec Commission for a term to expire on July 1st of 2028. I would look for a motion to reappoint Todd to that committee. He's done a nice job. I think he's the chairman right now, so.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Kroger, second by Peters.
Roll call Lindberg,
Aye.
Nippert,
Aye.
Shaven,
Aye.
Kroger. Aye. Kelly. Aye. Peterson.
Aye.
And then my other item would be to appoint Al Ickes to fulfill the remaining term of Nella Seibert on the HMU Board of Trustees, expiring November of this year, 2024.
Sure.
I'll motion.
Second?
Motion by Lindberg, second by Kroger.
Roll call Lindberg,
Aye.
Nippert,
Aye.
Shaven,
Aye.
Kroger. Aye. Kelly. Abstain. Peterson.
Aye.
Thank you. The only other thing I have is that Young lady stopped at my office yesterday named Jane Smith. Gave me an update. They'd sold their house. They're packing up some bigger things and heading off to greener pastures in Des Moines, Grimes. And her husband Phil's weathering the storm. He's going through a lot of stuff, and he's getting close to being done, the way it sounds, but just got a long ways to go. And just want everybody to tell everybody hi from her, and she appreciates all the well wishes and thoughts that have come her and Phil's way, because he's in the midst of getting his speaking back and swallowing back and going through lots and lots of stuff. And it sounds like they're doing okay, and she just wanted me to say hello from Jane. So,
Thank you.
with that, I would move on to, we're going to skip because Todd, he's not going to be here, correct? So, Municipal Utilities, Joe Ruschenberg.
Hello, everyone.
35 minutes, the floor is yours.
All right. Usually doesn't take too long. Usual, a couple updates on our projects that we have going on currently. Raw water system improvements project update. We now have 2 wells left to tie in the service lines to our new raw water mains. Holstein Electric and HOA, who is our control contractor, or works on our controls, have switched over wells 11 and 13 this week. We're switching those over to the new power and new controls and tying those into the new SCADA. So we'll keep moving forward, and try to do 1 or 2 wells here. Hopefully we can get about, if weather holds, we can get 5, 6 of them done in a week. Just depends on how things go, but we're slowly getting those switched over. Things seem to be, a few bugs, but things seem to be working. Change order number 7, I think we kind of talked about this previous meetings. Change order number 7 will be presented for approval on our June 13th meeting, and that's our first meeting that's usually electronic that we are going to have as an in-person meeting. We've got a few items to kind of take care of there, and one of them will be that change order number 7 for converting well 35 from a shallow well to a deep well. Update on our overhead underground electric conversion project, LFI / Burns Electric. Still working on replacing wood pole street lights and security lights to steel poles. Maybe you've noticed there at 12th Street, just south of Cyclone. I think there was 4 or 5 there that were still on wooden poles. Poles are in the ground. I think they were working on getting the conduit run from pole to pole. I don't know if they've lit back up yet, but it's been kind of dark there for a few days, but that's what's going on there, working on that. They're also working on the street lights on Southwest Avenue. There's several wooden poles there too that need to be replaced. Their boring contractor, he's got several cool crews in town working on those power between the new street lights, and they're also finishing up conduit on Highway 44. They've done some work down on 900th Street with some boring there, and then they also have been working in the trailer park down there running new conduit. Looking to move probably to Lynon subdivision area next. And then I've got 3 items here I think we've kind of touched on previous meetings. I just wanted to kind of go back on. Just wanted to mention each Saturday of this month that we have additional HMU employees going door to door to help complete lead service line surveys by July if we can. There's quite a few left yet, but hopefully we kind of get this final push and get a lot closer to that final number. Employees will be wearing HMU shirts and hats and will be in HMU vehicles if possible. I've also mentioned this last meeting too, make sure you watch our HMU local channels 14, 15 are now being broadcast in HD. Telecom department has also started live streaming events in HD on channel 15 and YouTube. And actually our meeting last month on the 22nd there was kind of the first one that the board meeting that we broadcast or streamed live in HD. and had it on YouTube also, so. So I think things went pretty good with that, so we're going to proceed to keep moving forward with that. And then last I have is, I think I mentioned this, that the retirement was coming, but Kenny Holloway's last day was last Friday. In our telecom department, so.
Golden anniversary,
Yeah,
31 years and retired on 31st, or?
yep, yeah.
It's pretty
So, kind of hate to see him go.
neat. Yeah, he kind of earned it.
Good employee. So, and that's all I have.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. You go back the rest of your time?
Oh, yeah, I will. Give it back.
Any comments from the public? Comments from up here? Anybody, council have anything to add? Troy, you still out there?
Yep,
You gonna
I
give us
still
your,
hear you.
you gonna give us your score, or are you too proud?
200.
You bringing a big trophy back then?
I don't know what the chamber does here, so we'll see.
Maybe, are you open that 21st? We should get a team together for the chamber. Is it too late for that golf tournament?
I'll follow up with you after the meeting.
No. Good. I'll go.
He's probably in.
I'll be gone, otherwise I would. Be at a concert.
Okay,
That's it from over here. Welcome
thanks for
again.
helping us, yeah. Keeping it short and sweet.
Tough meeting. Tough crowds.
Meeting adjourned.